Hey everybody, Airborne Vet here with another supply drop. Thank you for tuning in, and here we go. So we're gonna go right into it. First thing in the room is a DeWalt sander, variable speed. It has a dust shroud. Dust shroud is hopefully to help reduce some of my Breaking Bad crap that's going on in the background to keep the dust controlled. Going along with it, I have the rigid air filters to go with my rigid shop vacuum. It can attach to the dust shroud. Now, granted, dust shroud and the variable sander from before is to replace this bad boy. It died in my last video. Now, I don't know, well, I actually do know why it died. This is a brushed sander slash, forgive me. This is a brushed sander slash buffer. I got it from Harbor Freight, about $45. Actually, probably about more like $35. $45 in today's dollars. I pulled it apart, and the brushes inside, where the motor is, are spent. The gear case is perfectly fine. It just, from what I can tell, it sucked in air through this vent, clogged it up, overheated, burnt up the brushes. If you guys would like me to show you what I was looking at, go ahead and leave a comment below. And guess what, guys? I'll tear it apart on video. Not knocking the Harbor Freight. I got over 400 hours worth of use on this. It's not a lot, but for 35, 45 bucks, that's pretty good. Then we got the air filters. I just went over that. Next thing we got here is the Husky screwdrivers. It goes from P0 to P3. P normally stands for Phillips. On the bottom side, if you look there, we got 3/16 all the way to 5/16. The larger bit, along with some precision screwdrivers right there. I'm replacing my Craftsmans. The Craftsmans used to do the job, but they're not doing it anymore. I used to stick with Craftsman because of family. I'm not related to Craftsman. But in my past, I've seen my uncles, grandparents, and whatnot use Craftsmans. They took a beating and they would take last, even with jobs they weren't supposed to do. Nowadays, sometimes they even break with the job they're supposed to do. The next item, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a Chicago Electric stud welder dent repair kit. Got that from Harbor Freight. Got it because on my 1982 K5 Blazer, the first door I stripped, I had a bad dent. In order for me to hammer and dull that dent, which was almost impossible, maybe someone else can do it. That's not my profession. I would have my one arm inside the door, going through the speaker well, holding a dolly, have the hammer, go like this. And even with the extension of the hammer, I'm not hitting where the dolly is, or even off the dolly. Hammer on or hammering off. You know, it's just too much of a stretch for me. It's not my profession. Maybe a professional auto body guy can maybe show me a way to use a hammer and dolly, but I decided to get the Chicago Electric stud welder. So I'm gonna stud weld and use a slide hammer that comes with a kit to pop out those dents to get it as close to factory as I can get it. Grind out the studs, and then I'll use body filler. Now I'm hoping to use as little as possible. I don't like body filler, especially for the application I want this truck to fill. So, real quick break, time out. I haven't said this in past videos. It's supposed to be an overland truck, camping truck, and in a pinch, a bug out truck. In earlier videos, I didn't think it was going to fill. I thought the likelihood of it filling that role was very low. I thought I was going to take my family camping 99.9% of the time, and that 1% was going to be me maybe taking to a truck show. It's not going to be a show truck, so I'm not going to win any trophies. But, yeah. Nowadays, what's going on with ICE and protesters and politicians and whatnot, I'm not too sure. I might be using it as a bug out truck. But with that said, I digress. Stud welder, pull out the dents, make it look nice, get a nice smooth body. Along with the stud welder, I got the Pittsburgh 4-ton heavy-duty hydraulic body repair kit. I got a really bad dent in the back side of my truck. It's from back when I was a stupid young soldier. Yes, that truck has been in my life for a while. Yes, I said 82 Blazer, SUV, I consider it a truck. Tomato in my part. You want to just call it a truck, you want to be picky, call it a truck. You want to be picky, call it SUV. You do you. You know, but I'm going to use this to push out as much of that dent as possible, but because I can get decent access once I get it as close to not even factory, close enough where I can hammer and dolly it and get it as smooth as possible by just doing a little bit of tender love and care on the metal. There you go. On top of that, I got a co-worker who wants to pay me to push out a dent, and he doesn't care what it looks like, just as long as he can put a normal bumper back on his vehicle. So there are all the current project parts, accessories, and equipment. I'm going to say once again, and I know I said this in the past in prior videos, this is not an auto restoration channel. This is not a gun channel. This is not a food storage channel. This is do it yourself or do it better channel. I believe in saving money when I can save it. And if I can do it myself, do it myself. Provided it's not taken away from the other things in my life. Now for me, I enjoy doing this stuff. This is what I do on a daily basis. I fix my own stuff. I build my own raised flower beds. Okay? I do a water catchment system because I think it's a good idea. We're in a drought. Why not save water? It kind of makes sense to me. I love this truck. I'm doing this because I love it. Okay, I enjoy going to the gun range. And with that, let's move it to our bonus item today. Before I pull it out, here's a little backstory. I have assembled this particular item over a year. I have had a lot of hang-ups and cliff falls with this item. From the count, at least 3 to 4. Three I know of. So this item I'm excited to use is what I consider a DMR. It may not be DMR as per the textbook, but it's a 308 AR-10 PRS rifle. The intention of this rifle build was for PRS and hunting in the state of Texas. I may not be able to use it in all counties, but I can use it in a number of them because it's legal. So, let's do a quick breakdown. I got, from what you guys can see, I got Magpul stock, Magpul grip, Magpul bipods. That's it on the Magpul. I got a Ballistic Advantage fluted 18-inch barrel, heavy profile, standard AR 15 or A2 flash suppressor, SLR foregrip free floated, Aero Precision lower, Aero Precision upper, a Sig Sauer Tangle MSR 5 through 30 scope. It is in mils on the reticle, but for some reason it's an MOA on the turret. That part don't make sense. I was just looking for a mil reticle and I assumed the turret will be milled too. The trigger is a TriggerTech trigger. I do believe, if I remember off the top of my head, it was a 2.5 pound trigger pull. I do not have ambi safety. I really don't need it for my personal application. And I have not shot it yet. The only bullet that got shot through this rifle was from the gunsmith who safety checked all my work. He went through it, tip to butt, made sure I torqued everything correctly, I aligned everything correctly, and then he did a precision alignment. Make sure everything is right there in specs so I can get the best accuracy as possible. So that way, if I miss my target, it's not the rifle's fault, it's my fault. I'm excited to shoot this rifle. I wanted to shoot this rifle and then after this video, have you guys cut to some range time. But because of weather, I wasn't able to do it. Not because I'm a little girl, nothing against being female, because I wanted to get a very accurate zero. And the windage right now is from north to south. It's gusting anywhere between, it's free flowing, I apologize, between 10 and 11 miles on average with gusts up to 18 and 19 miles. And that is a tailwind on the projectile. So it's pushing the projectile faster, completely causing problems with my drop. So the consistency won't be there when I go back on a calmer day. Now, if I've already shot this rifle, already got my baseline zero, then yes, I would have had no problem shooting it today, because that's data in my book. You know, and more data you have, the more accurate you can be in anything you do. So that's today's supply drop. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I tend to talk quickly, but when I slow down, I start going on tangents. ADD or ADHD. I'm hyper. That's why I got so many projects. All right. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for future videos. That cart right behind us, I'm going to do some modifications to it. I'm going to put some peg holes in it so I can just have my screwdrivers right there close to the projects I'm working on. I'm also going to put some baskets on the side so I can clear out the top so it's easier for me to get things instead of digging through a pile. And then I'm going to go back to this tailgate on a 1982 K5 Blazer. And as I said, if you guys want more information on the backstory of that truck, a part of my life, prior to becoming a part of my life, I do not know. I am willing to share that with you. The same thing with the build with the AR-10. Disclaimer, I can't tell you how to put them together. It's against YouTube policies. You know, and I'm kind of enjoying putting out these videos. Sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes I bomb. And it's cool. You know, but I really do enjoy the very few interactions, and I appreciate the subscribers who have subscribed. So this is Airborne out.